is Friday. We're in night number 2 of the NFL Draft live from Kansas City, Missouri. Trying to see more Alabama football players get their names called in a life-changing moment. But right now, you're rocking and rolling on what is the hottest show in these streets, talking Bama football news. In my own word, George truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Happy to have all of you in here on a Friday. We bring you the show from the magic city of Birmingham. We stream this to you on YouTube. And speaking of the channel, you know what time it is. You hit that subscribe button, tap that subscribe button, smash subscribe right now. Share the show. Get every friend, family member, diehard Bama fan, casual Bama fan, consumer of Tide football to be involved. If you love the content, guess what? They will enjoy it also. Like the show as well. Hit that thumbs up. Give a like on the show. Tap that like button. Make this your place to talk Bama football. Trying to get the start off. 50 likes to begin the show. Appreciate you guys. That daily super chat go, $100. Daily super chat go, $100 right there. We appreciate all donations. Be sure to hit that notification bell so that way you miss absolutely nothing when it comes to your Bama football content. We want to hear from you tonight. You can do this by calling 205-448-1358. The number to call in to let your voice be made known on the show, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. J.D. Long, know what time it is, as he's dropped that $19.99. Showing love right there. Appreciate J.D. Long, dancing, Steve, and getting down to business right there on the screen. But, we're going to jump to the conversation I have to talk about. We're in rounds 2 and 3 of the NFL Draft tonight. So we'll be updating you as more Bama players get taken off of the board. But we start the show with this, new quarterback on Alabama's roster. 5th quarterback in here. That being one Tyler Buchner, transfer from Notre Dame. He made it happen on Tuesday. That's when he decided, that's when he decided to hit the portal. And then Wednesday, reports came out about him taking a visit to the University of Alabama. And then Thursday, as this is chronological order here, Thursday, he commits to the Crimson Tide via social media, his Twitter account. And a lot of the Bama fan base, even myself included, are going, why? Like, no offense to the young man, good dude, got talent, good kid, but why? When you already have 4 scholarship quarterbacks on the roster, and all 4 of these guys, they didn't do terrible in the spring game. They all made some things happen out there on the field, whether it was Jalen Milroe, 3 touchdowns total, 2 of those passing touchdowns, whether it was Ty Simpson made some beautiful throws, but the receivers just dropped the ball, whether it was Dylan Larnigan, who engineered a touchdown drive, or Eli Holstein, who completed a dart to Ja'Cory Brooks for 36 yards. All 4 quarterbacks did something. So you're wondering, why did Alabama dip into the transfer portal to pick up Tyler Buchner here? Well, one of the, main reasons as to why, you look at the offensive coordinator for Alabama, that being Tommy Rees, coming over from Notre Dame. He coached Mr. Buchner here, and the relationship that these two have, that plays a role there. But then also, Saban mentioned during game day on yesterday, the first round of the draft, he said, the coaching staff, we tried to give the 4 quarterbacks we have on the roster an opportunity to win the job in spring practice. But now we feel like more competition is needed to be added to this room. And Saban talked about the leadership, the mentality, the mindset of Buchner throughout the entire process. So now Saban brings the young man in here, trying to force more competition here in the room, seeing if he can push either Jalen Milroe or Ty Simpson up to the top here. So I can understand, why Saban made the move. Not necessarily the move I would have made. Once again, this is why Coach Saban is the 7-time national champion, 6-time national champion Alabama, and I'm sitting right here in this chair providing you the information that is Alabama football. Buchner would not be the guy I would have picked But Coach Saban, we have seen him time and time again think outside the box. Remember Lane Kiffin? And we were all like, God almighty, don't you bring that man here. And Nick Saban said, come on in, Lane Kiffin. The table's spread. You want gumbo? Come on in here. And Lane Kiffin sits down. Remember when, Steve Sarkisian, we were like, oh, God, no. And Saban's like, come on in, Sarknado, Sarkisian, Sark, bring your tail in here. Come on in here. And so now here we are going against the grain in terms of a quarterback having Tyler Buchner in here. Now, I guess in terms of what Buchner brings to Alabama, he does have experience playing quarterback. He's got 13 games of experience. He began as the starter last year for Notre Dame, got hurt, which is the reason why Drew Pine had to step in there. Buchner made his return the latter part of the season, primarily the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl against South Carolina, where he totaled 5 touchdowns, did have 3 picks, but totaled 5 touchdowns, leading the Irish to a 45-38 win over the Gamecocks. Notre Dame finishing the year at 9-4. So Buchner's got some talent. He's got some ability. Doesn't know the culture, doesn't know the vibe in Tuscaloosa, doesn't know the mindset of the program. He'll have to kind of get all of this down on the fly. This is kind of a training on the job type deal. Get all your job training on job training going on right now. We'll see how Buchner handles all of this. But 5th quarterback now in the room for the Crimson Tide is Tyler Buchner, transfer from Notre Dame. We take our first break here, folks, on the show. Don't touch that dial. We're just getting started. Upon our return, we go to the phone lines to grab your calls, your thoughts, your conversations on a Friday. What do you think of the addition of Tyler Buchner to Alabama's quarterback room? I want to hear from you after this.
Nine players have teamed up and released the Alabama Team Paper, which is a video yearbook they've put out for sale direct to fans. Now, for the first time, small dollar purchases from the fans can support the players as a group as well as a great cause, because $1 of every subscription payment is donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Be a 5-star fan base and support your team and a great cause with Team Paper. Check it out at teampaper.com/Alabama.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
All right, people, we're back rocking and rolling here with you to the action from the break on a Friday. TGIF edition of the show. Hottest show on the streets here, talking your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith, the Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Got my man Eli Walker in the production studio tonight. Rounds 2 and 3 of the NFL Draft on ESPN. We will be providing you updates on the Bama players that are taken off of the board. Continue hitting that like button. Tap that thumbs up. Give us that like right there on the show. Hit that subscribe button as well. Make this your space here to talk Bama. We appreciate that. Daily Super Chat go $100. Daily Super Chat go. Guys, shout out New Me 85 ETC with that $10 donation. The Super Chat's right there. Appreciate New Me 85, etc. Helping us out there on the show. We go to the phone lines to grab your calls. The call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in and let your voice be heard, 205-448-1358. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from. You're live on the show, caller.
My name is Robert from Bessemer.
Robert, what's happening?
Oh, not much, man. I was looking at this new Buchner guy that they brought in, the quarterback. I looked at all the highlights that he had, and looked like that he's one of those guys that really love to run first and then think about passing. I mean, Jalen Milroe do a greater job than him. What you think about that?
I mean, Robert, like I said, this would not have been the move that I personally would have made. I personally would have chosen. I understand Buchner has a relationship with Tommy Rees. Tommy Rees coached him at Notre Dame. I get that. But at the same time, my whole thing was, if you're going to get somebody out of the portal, you get somebody big. Like, you get somebody that's a Caleb Williams or a Drake May caliber or a Bryce Young caliber. You get somebody like that. And then the reward is definitely worth the risk, especially when you look at the defense that you're going to have in the upcoming season. But once again, Coach Saban looks at Tyler Buchner and says, hey, we want more competition in the room. Here he is.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate my man Robert calling into the show here, 205-448-1358, number to call in. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Mike from Chicago. What's going on, Stephen L?
Doing great, Mike, and yourself?
I'm doing good. Hey, this move is the worst move I've ever seen Alabama make. And as I say, everybody want to run O'Brien out of Tuscaloosa, and they bring in Tommy Rees like he was the second coming. So let me understand this. You take a player who lost his job at the school, didn't stick around to compete, has never done anything well. The best game everybody want to quote him on was the game that he played against South Carolina, where he threw 2 pick sixes. And the thing you're saying is, hey, we want ball security. And it's nowhere, any move I can think where this is good. He's not good. Buchner's not good. And Tommy Rees is supposed to be this quarterback developer. So if he's supposed to be developing quarterback, develop the 4 you got on your roster. They're 10 times better than Tyler is. I mean, I do not understand this move. But again, it's Tommy Rees, and everybody wanted somebody new. And everybody keeps forget that when Tommy Rees was in Notre Dame, he was Notre Dame's O'Brien. I mean, everybody wanted him out of town. So, I mean, you get what you wish for. I'm just thinking this is not a great move. What do you think about it?
Well, Mike, when I saw the move come across my social media, I immediately went, okay, what? And once again, no offense to Tyler Buchner whatsoever, a very good young man, absolutely. But just think about what you said there in terms of the quarterbacks you have on your roster. Jalen Milroe, Ty Simpson, Dylan Larnigan, and Eli Holstein, they all offer you something more, each and every last one of them. And you got the people that say, well, Steven, the quarterbacks played terrible in the A-Day game. No, they did not. You had all 4 quarterbacks made plays. Jalen Milroe had 2 touchdown passes. Yes, he had 2 picks. One of them was a Hail Mary that he just had to throw up. The other one, Malachi Moore hit him.
Yeah, but Steven, he played terrible in his game. That's why he left. That's why Sam has the starting job, because he played terrible in his spring game. So it ain't like somewhere there's a positive to say, okay, all our guys played bad and he played great and it was just a numbers game in Notre Dame. He played terrible. He was the incumbent. He was the man that had the starting job. Sam came in, takes his job, and somehow another competition, he's bringing competition? How? I don't see how he's bringing competition when they didn't even trust him in Notre Dame. The very first game against Clemson, they put the ball up 18 times, so they didn't trust him throwing the ball. And then the very next game, he loses to Marshall. I mean, I just don't see the competition he's bringing. And that's the thing. I don't have a problem you bringing in quarterback. Bringing somebody who can bring in competition, this guy is not the guy. And if he starts starting the beginning of the season, I'm definitely pretty sure 8-4, 9-3, easy. He's bad. He's terrible. I mean, you say no offense to him, but he's bad. He's terrible. I'm gonna let you get another caller. Hey, thanks for letting me in, but I just don't get it. Have a good one, and as I always say, roll Tide.
Appreciate Mike from Chicago calling into the show, giving his thoughts here on a Friday. 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. I mean, I've said this multiple times, Eli. This was not the move I would have picked. It was not the move. Like I said, if you're going to bring in somebody from the portal, you bring in somebody of top tier. Like, I'm not saying Caleb Williams hopped in the portal, but if Caleb Williams hopped in the portal, you go after that guy. If Drake May out of North Carolina hopped in the portal, you go after that guy. I mean, if a guy of major caliber hops in the portal, that's who you go after. I understand Saban saying more competition in the room, but Tyler Buchner, you're better with the competition you already got on the roster with these four quarterbacks, but he's in Tuscaloosa now. We will see how quickly does he come in here and vibe and grow and gel and all that other different stuff right there. But as you guys are getting your thoughts together here, cool call topic on the NFL draft. How about Jahmyr Gibbs, who got taken at number 12 overall last night in the first round by the Detroit Lions? I didn't see Gibbs going 12 to Detroit. I kind of saw him going probably a little bit later on in that first round, but Dan Campbell, he loves those explosive guys. Go back to last year's draft. Who did he take at 12 from Alabama? Jamison Williams. And so now Dan Campbell at number 12 takes Jahmyr Gibbs. Nice move there from one Dan Campbell. Here's some history here, folks. The duo of Bryce Young and Jahmyr Gibbs became the third quarterback running back duo taken in the top 15 of the NFL draft. I think since 2000? That's crazy. When you look at, they've become a third quarterback running back duo taken from the top 15 of the NFL draft. Also, Jahmyr Gibbs became the highest drafted running back in the Saban era for Alabama since Trent Richardson went number 3 overall in the 2012 draft to the Cleveland Browns. So Jahmyr Gibbs getting some history there. Hopefully, he has just an outstanding career. Jared Goff, Dan Campbell, and the Detroit Lions. But we take a break right here, folks. We'll touch that down. When we get back, we dive into more history that the draft created for Alabama and Coach Saban on Thursday night. We'll get into it after this.
Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
This is Matt Caddell, former Alabama wide receiver, and you're listening to In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith with Touchdown Alabama Magazine. And I got 2 words to say, baby. Roll Tide.
All right, folks, we're rocking and rolling right into the action from the break. Number 1 form for Crimson Tide football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith, Touchdown Alabama Magazine here. Rounds 2 and 3 of the NFL Draft tonight, happening right now from Kansas City, Missouri. You can check it out on ESPN. We will be bringing you the updates on the Bama players getting taken off the board. Continue to tap that like button. Give us that thumbs up right here on the show. Smash the like button. Hit that subscribe button. Share the show to every friend, every family member, everybody that you can. We appreciate that. That daily super chat go, $100, $100 there daily super chat go. But topic number 2 here, Eli, we look at more history that was made Thursday night, round 1 of the NFL draft by the Crimson Tide. Nick Saban now 44 first-round picks since 2009. The latest 3 came off the board last night: Bryce Young, Will Anderson, and Jahmyr Gibbs. And speaking of Bryce Young and Will Anderson, they both gave Coach Saban some big history here. Starting this thing off with Bryce Young. BY gives Nick Saban his first ever number 1 overall pick in the common draft era. Saban's got that in his feather in recruiting now. You want to come to Alabama and play in the NFL draft? I just produced the number 1 overall pick. You see Bryce Young? I just produced that. Number 1 overall pick. Coach Saban got that right there in Young going to the Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young becoming the first Alabama player to go number 1 overall in the common draft era since Joe Namath did it in the 1965 draft to those New York Jets. So that's big ups to Bryce Young. In regards to Will Anderson went number 3 overall in the draft to the Houston Texans. D'Amico Ryans after taking C.J. Stroud with his first pick at number 2 overall from Ohio State. Ryans trades to get the number 3 pick from the Cardinals to then take Will Anderson. So Anderson, the number 3 overall pick. And what that did was Bryce Young and Will Anderson became, for Alabama, the first offensive player and the first defensive player taken in the same draft in the top 3 of the 2023 venue. So that's some history there. Alabama had the first offensive player and the first defensive player taken in the top 3 of the draft. And what made that so special, Eli, if you watched, after they both got drafted, Bryce Young sees Will Anderson. Will Anderson, tears in his eyes, comes up to Bryce Young, dabs him up. There's a huge hug. There's a huge these two, even though their games are different, Bryce Young more so cool, calm, ice cool. Will Anderson more of the fire guy. Their game's different. But boy, the love and the respect they have for each other. These two love each other. I mean, the resume for both guys, they both came into high school as 5 stars in the 2020 class. They both came in under huge expectations. Both delivered in those expectations. Both set single-season school records. Both won numerous individual accolades. Both were permanent team captains. Both assisted Alabama to a national championship in 2020, 2 SEC championships, 2020 and 2021. Bryce Young wins a Heisman Trophy, Will Anderson a Heisman finalist, and then both of these two get drafted in the top 3. Just a special resume for Bryce Young and Will Anderson. Proud of both of these two young men creating this type of history here. Carolina's got a big play weapon, big play quarterback, big play leader in Bryce Young. Houston, they got a terrorizer of a defensive player and a leader in Will Anderson. So if we look at tonight here, big question is going to be, how many more guys can come off the board? How many more guys can get drafted? How many more guys will have that phone call that will change their life? But Coach Saban grabbed that history. Bryce Young, Will Anderson helped him get it. But we go to another break right here, folks. Don't touch that dial, because upon our return, we go back to the phone lines to take your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. We get back to you, the Bama fans, after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care, in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99, and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
All right, folks, we're rocking and rolling in here. We're back to the action from the break on a Friday. TGIF edition of the show. Number 1 ticket for your Crimson Tide. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Night 2 of the NFL Draft. Rounds 2 and 3 happening right now on ESPN. Like I've mentioned throughout the show, when Bama players get called off the board, we will have those updates provided here for you. But we go to the phone lines to grab your calls. The call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in to let your voice be heard, 205-448-1358. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Steve, what's going on, man? Happy Friday. This JD Long, man.
JD, what's happening, man?
Man, man, I was just shocked, man. What you think about that Tyler Buchner kid coming in?
This was not the one I wanted to see. This was not the decision that I was looking at. Me personally, I like the 4 quarterbacks Alabama already had in the room. I thought those 4 guys did pretty well in the spring game. Receivers didn't do them any favors. That's why they got to get on that jug machine. But I did not see a reason why you had to go in the portal to get Tyler Buchner. But the milk has already been spilled. He's here now.
Right. So who you think gonna be the week 1 starter, man? You think that Miro or Ty can pull it out, or you think they brought this guy? I know Saban know him. He ain't finna promise somebody no spot, but it seemed a little different, Steve. It seemed like, man, like they don't have confidence in the other quarterbacks, man. So they might ride with him. Me personally, man, I think Miro Simpson, man. I think we be better hands with them, man, because they already got the camaraderie with the team and everything. But we'll see, man. I don't know if you talked last night. Blake Sims had like a speech for Ty and Jalen, man, and it was pretty powerful. So maybe that, maybe that just motivate them. And like I say, the best man win, where the best player win. But I like it for one of them to get it, man. Just since they've been in the program, man. Just reward them guys. But also they got to come with it too. So hopefully they'll just light a fire up on them, man. But I hope one of them can pull it out. No, like it's no disrespect to Tyler or anything, but but we'll see though. But Roll Tide, I just want to get your thoughts on it.
Appreciate JD Long calling in from Birmingham, and I agree. I mean, I've said this all show. No disrespect, bad feeling at all toward Tyler Buchner. Good young man, good kid. He's got some talent. But what I would like to see is Jalen Milroe, Ty Simpson. They've been in this program for a while. Jalen Milroe in year 3 of the program. Ty Simpson in his second year. They've got the camaraderie of the team. They've got the camaraderie of the locker room. They've got the playbook. They've got the respect of the people in the room. They understand the expectation of the program because they've been in it. So it makes more sense for one of these two to pull it out. And of the two, I mean, it'd be a really cool story if Milroe was to pull this out. It'd be a really cool story. If Ty Simpson pulls it out, fantastic. But it would just be a really cool story if Jalen Milroe were to find a way to just pull this out and run with it. But we'll see. We got summer workouts coming up in the summer. You got fall camp coming up in August. We will see which one is the cream and how fast does it rise to the top here. But we take this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Steve.
What's going on?
It's Joe Hendricks down in Los Angeles, California. Now, by golly, none of them boys. I take Jalen Milroe the 6 picks this season over them other boys. Because you can't teach magic, man. You can't teach magic.
I understand that. I mean, Milroe got the athleticism. Milroe got the arm strength. I mean, he showed in the A-Day game. He can hit good balls. Had one to Emmanuel Henderson. Had one to Malik Benson. Had one to Kendrick Law. He has shown he's got good balls in him to throw.
And another thing about him, he's been there since he was a freshman. So, he's a true blood. He's a true blood Bama boy.
He's been here since his freshman year. Joe, you're absolutely correct. Came as a 4-star in the 2021 class. The talent, the potential, he's got the tools there. He's got the tools there. It's just now with Saban bringing in Tyler Buchner to enhance his competition, maybe this has Milroe fired all the way up to he just runs with it.
All right, still want you go with Roll Tide, baby, Roll Tide.
Appreciate Joe calling in from California here on a Friday, giving us his thoughts on the show. 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. You're getting your thoughts in here, people. Tonight, we got rounds 2 and 3 going on tonight. NFL Draft, Kansas City, Missouri. Show the draft on ESPN. When you look at the Alabama players that could be taken off the board, how many come off the board tonight? How many names get called tonight? You got Brian Branch still out there. DeMarco Hellams is out there. Jordan Battle is out there. Cam Latu is out there. Byron Young is out there. Eli Ricks out there. So there are some names out there here in the second, third round you can get your hands on. I mean, Tyler Steen out here. Emil Ekiyor out here. So how many guys come off this board second, third rounds tonight here in the NFL Draft on ESPN? We continue to keep you covered, up to date on that. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on?
What you think about this quarterback guy coming in?
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Say it one more time. Say it one more time. I couldn't hear you. Kind of lost that call right there. I think it was talking about Tyler Buchner. My thoughts on him coming into the quarterback room. I mean, David mentioned competition. Wanting to bring more competition into the room, which I get that. I understand that. Iron sharpen iron, I get it. But, I mean, you already had competition in the room with the 4 quarterbacks on the roster already. There was competition in the room right there. I don't understand why you dip in the portal here, but it is what it is. I know some people say, well, Steve at Alabama dipped in the portal for Jamison Williams, but that was a needed wide receiver. You didn't have a take the top off the defense type of play, so you needed Jamison Williams. Well, Steve and Alabama dipped in the portal for Jahmyr Gibbs. Alabama didn't have that home run hitter at running back. So you had to dip in the portal to get Jahmyr Gibbs. Well, Steve and Bama dipped in the portal to get Eli Ricks. Well, Terrion Arnold had never played corner before. And you needed somebody opposite Kool-Aid McKinstry. So to go out there and get Eli Ricks, even though he'd never necessarily materialized in Alabama, I could see the reason why you made that move. Well, Steve and Alabama dipped in the portal to get Tyler Steen. Once again, that was a need. An offensive tackle. Need. We could understand why. It made sense. This, with Tyler Buchner, does not necessarily make sense. Maybe it proves me wrong. I hope it proves me wrong. But we take another break. We take our final break right here, folks, from the show and touch that dial. When we get back to the action, we'll talk about in the discussion, what does the addition of Tyler Buchner do for everybody else in the quarterback room? We'll wrap it up with that after this.
Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide. Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, people, we appreciate all of you on this evening. All of the phone calls, donations, YouTube chats, doing what you do to make this show the number one forum for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Appreciate all of you. Continue to hit that like button, tap the like button, hit that subscribe button. Make this your show. Daily Super Chat go, $100 daily. Super Chat go, $100 right there. Continue to keep our eyes on the NFL Draft, rounds 2 and 3 tonight. Going on right now on ESPN. But right now, Eli, we wrap this up with a conversation. Tyler Buchner transferred from Notre Dame to Alabama. How does he affect the Crimson Tide's quarterback room? Like, how does Buchner affect the room? And naturally, you know, when you have a quarterback come in from the transfer portal, you have to think the other quarterbacks in the room may be in the feelings, not liking it, not appreciating it, not valuing it. No, I'm not saying that the Alabama quarterbacks currently on the roster feel this way. I'm just saying in general, you've been working your tail off, trying to earn a starting spot, play for the starting job. You're doing all that you can. And then the coaching staff brings in somebody completely different from the transfer portal. That kind of, your position, that has you feeling some type of way. It's one thing if you have a guy that was recruited with you, you both came in as freshmen, you both were in the program at the same time or around the same time, and you just get beat out by the other guy, then it is what it is. That's fair game there. It is what it is. But when you're at this program, you're grinding, you're toiling, you're working extremely hard, and then somebody comes in from a completely different program and they're brought in, that doesn't necessarily sit well with a lot of players. Maybe Tyler Buchner comes in and he gels with the vibe of the room, gels with the vibe of the program, gels with everybody around him. Maybe he does. Possibly he does. My thing is, with him coming in here, you have to wonder, does Alabama lose a quarterback that's already on the roster to the transfer portal? You have to ask yourself that question. You have to ask yourself that. Like, it may not lose one of the portal. Hopefully not. But with you having 5 quarterbacks on your roster at this point, you got to think about, does one go? Especially if fall camp rolls around and the guy that thought he would win the job does not get the job. What becomes his move? That guy's move. So it's interesting. I mean, to me, if I was Tyler Buchner, the one guy I would reach out and call would be Jacob Coker. I mean, I would give Jake Coker a call. Coker, remember, Blake Sims had the terrible spring game in 2014. Coker transfers in the summer from Florida State. You know, everybody's saying Coker's the guy, 6'5", 240, even though Blake Sims had the heart of that entire team. But Coker came in, worked hard, gelled well with everybody in the room, got the understanding that, hey, this is Blake's team, but I just need to be ready in case I'm called upon. And it all kind of, it all worked out. The very next year, 2015, Coker gets in there, helps Alabama win a national championship. So if there was somebody that Tyler Buchner could call to get some advice, hey, how do I work through this? How do I navigate this? I'm coming into a whole different program, whole different vibe, whole different culture. Like, how do I do this? Jacob Coker would be a great mentor for Tyler Buchner. He would be in this sense because Coker did it. But we'll see how this shakes up, affects quarterback room here for your Crimson Tide. But as always, Tide fans, you want the best in news, notes, information, entertainment on your favorite program, that being the Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple. Google Play Store if you got the Android phone for your audio needs. Check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. Good and gracious Lord C. Spit. I'll try to be back on Monday. Continuing the conversation. It's Tide football. Remember, Bama fans, you can purchase individual copies of Touchdown Alabama magazine. Have those sent to your door. That link found in the description if you're trying to get your hands on the fresh edition, print edition of TDA the magazine. Here's what you do. You go to touchdownalabama.com. You click join, become a member and or a subscriber today. That link found in the description as well. But I gotta shout out you guys, the amazing fans of Tide football. We appreciate you checking us out today, making this your spot to talk Bama football. Gotta shout out my man Elon walking the production studio, handling that business. Continue to check out the NFL draft tonight, rounds 2 and 3 tomorrow. Saturday, rounds 4 through 7, as the Bama players getting called off the board here. Till next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children, you guys continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing to not be bored there. You get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words.